Hello, family. Welcome once again to this platform. United States of America has restricted the AES country from entering their country and other African nations. Why is US restricting the alliance of the Sahel states, consisting of Mali, Niger, and Burkina Faso, from entering their states? We are going to look at the details. Why America is always saying, I put sanction on you, I banned you, I sanction you, I put restriction on you, you're not going to enter my country, I'm not going to give you food, I'm not going to give you aid, all manner kinds of things. Since Donald Trump came into power, he has been signing executive orders. Executive orders. Why? Why in God's name? Why? Okay, do you know one thing? I feel like Donald Trump always felt like he has to rule the world. But look, wait. Look at the entire map. Look at the entire globe. Look at the world. It consists of so many countries that one person cannot rule any of them. If you are an emperor, you can be emperor in your empire. You can be king in your kingdom, not somebody's kingdom. You see, that's what is happening between Venezuela and Donald Trump. Donald Trump thinks he owns everything. He owns the world. Nah, you don't own the world. You own America. You don't even own America. You are just a sitting president. Your term will come to pass. You see, so that's what is happening. Now let's go into the main point that Trump is saying, that he is restricting these countries because of what they think that they have a reason, they have a basis to restrict them. Now, US expand travel restriction targeting the AES states, Nigeria, and other African nations. Even Nigerian African giant is being restricted from entering the US. Now, according to the United States, President Trump outlined new US entry restriction targeting several countries, including African nations and Syria. Syria to his part. This is crazy, man. I think this is crazy because when I look at the globe and I look at the maps and everything, I think it's too big. It's too big for one person to be jumping here and then saying, I restricted you, I sanction you. Do you have the authority to even sanction them? That's the question. When you sanction them, what is it going to do to them? What is the effect? Sometimes I always think that the sanctions are not even affecting anybody because the people are still living, doing their businesses with others. Look, this is the fact. Every country has to relate with each other for businesses and trade. If you don't want to trade with somebody is ready. It's simple as that. If you don't want my minerals, somebody is waiting for it to have it and in exchange of something. It's simple. So when you say you sanction me, you restrict me, my brother, you are just joking. You are wasting your time. Somebody allowed me to come to their country. You see, that's the problem that everybody has to understand. Every government has to understand that you are a king in your kingdom. If somebody don't want you, somebody wants you. Now, the restriction aims to enhance national security by improving vetting, information sharing, and screening methods. That's their reason. 2. Countries such as Burkina Faso, Mali, and South Sudan now face full entry limitations due to security concerns. Over here, America is saying that I'm restricting the AES country, Niger, Mali, Burkina Faso, and South Sudan. I'm not putting South Sudan into the AES, but the 3 nations that consist of the AES and the other South Sudan, we are restricting them because of security concerns. Trump is trying to say that the administration is trying to say that, okay, we are not going to allow you people into our country again. We don't want bandits. We don't want terrorists in our country. You people are killers. You people are murderers in your country. So we don't want you in our country. Simple as that. We don't want people to come and corrupt our people. But hey, what is this? Let's speak the facts. Which country in the world has a lot of terrorists or have a lot of killers, murderers, psychopaths? Which country in the world? It's definitely America. And a country where gun is legalized. You can see what happened. Especially every day, each day, there has been a record of deaths killed by gunshots in America. People are being killed by gun, especially in the territories of Texas, Houston, those places. California, people are being killed on a daily basis. So why are you saying that these people are having security concern? Is it America having security concern? Because America is not even in the first place or even to the 10th place of a safe country in the world. It's not, because they are not safe. So that's what they are saying. I'm just elaborating my point. Partial restrictions are imposed on other nations like Nigeria and Zimbabwe, largely based on visa overstay rates. So that one there is because of the visa overstay. You don't have to overstay your visas. When your time is reached, just go to your country. So that's the restrictions they are talking about there. So I think this is not a problem. This is not a problem like that. When your visa ended, just go home. It's simple as that. There are rules and regulations everywhere. When you overstayed, just go home. Your visa expired, go home. Simple as that. So as I was saying, the reason why Burkina Faso, Mali, Niger, and South Sudan are restricted because they are flagged of security concerns, particularly linked to ongoing terrorist activities and governance challenges in the state. Now, governance challenges, that means because of the coups in some of the countries, governance challenges like the AES states, Niger, Mali, Burkina Faso, right now it's military junta, military government. So because of that, so I think they should probably say because of that, that's why they are restricting these nations, because Trump don't want schools. They don't want schools, but they want to relate with them. They want to trade with them. How? You don't want those people. You don't want them in power. You never like them. Why do you want to trade with them? That's one thing. I'm just saying. Why do you want to trade with them? Because you don't like schools. You don't like them at all because they are military. You think because they are military leaders, they are terrorists. It's not so. What they are doing over there, years of democracy could not even achieve this. Yes, decades of democracy, 50 years or whatever of democracy could not even achieve what they are just doing in the space of 4 years or 5 years going. You see, that's the main purpose over there. Now, the United States Union expanded restriction highlight the US government heightened concerns over terrorism and extremism in certain African countries. So they are afraid of terrorists, they are afraid of bandits, they are afraid of Boko Haram. But people are actually saying, people are accusing them of them supporting terrorists in Africa, because what is the US aid used for in Africa? What are they used for? They are used for helping people. But in other ways, some people, even them, are saying, because when they have investigated, they see that some of the US aid are being used to fund terrorists in Africa. They used to fund terrorists. So people accuse them a lot of this. So if now people are accusing them of this, and now they are afraid of Boko Haram or banditry, terrorists in Africa, how? How? That's why when Donald Trump came, he said, we are going to stop the US aid. There will not be any US aid fund anymore. So that place, he is actually trying to do something. You see, so he said we are not going to do US aid anymore. And people accuse them of using that fund to support terrorists in Africa, to destabilize African nations. That's what is happening. Now they are afraid of terrorists. That's why they are putting restrictions on African countries, that insurgency is happening in their states. So the US State Department has pointed out that the AES states, Burkina Faso, Mali, and Niger, face increasing terrorist threats from groups linked to Al Qaeda and Islamic State, which have exhibited instability and hindered effective governance. So they are saying because of the terrorists in those AES, the Alliance of Sahel states, because of that, they are not able to govern the country very well. So because of that, they are blocking them to come to their country. But let's see where this restriction reach. If it's for this restriction has what hindered students or business partners for going to America also. Let's look at that. So international reaction and diplomatic ramifications. While these restrictions are expected to impact travels, business, and education exchanges between the US and several African countries, the US government has emphasized that certain expectations will be made for diplomatic, academic, and humanitarian visas categories. The proclamation includes exceptions for lawful permanent residents, citing visas holders, certain visas categories like athletes and diplomats, and individuals whose entry serves US national interests. So, in the extent of let's say business partners or students, academics, US is saying that they are going to review that, they are going to put certain expectations for them, because especially if it favors Americans' interests, then you have access to the US, you have access to enter the US, but still there are restrictions. So, and also athletes or diplomats who have access to the nation, because sometimes it's going to serve their interest, not Africa, but their interest. So they are going to allow that. But if it's not going to serve in their interest, you don't have a visa or whatever, permanent residence address, visa, and all those, you will not be able to enter the US. Simple as that. So guys, what do you think about what is currently happening between the United States of America and some African countries, especially the Alliance of the Sahel states and South Sudan? US is saying that because of the terrorists, because of Al Qaeda, because of Boko Haram in their domain, because of those insurgency in their domain, we are restricting them. They are going to be restricted fully from entering the US. That's what America is saying. What do you think about it? Do you think America is doing too much, or America is just serving the interests of the American people? Whatever it is, just drop your opinion in the comment section. And whatever you think about how the AES is going to retaliate or is going to react to these sections, just drop it in the comment section. Thank you for watching this channel.